มาแล้วเดี๋ยวรอสักครู่นะคะขอแชร์ก่อนจริงๆต้องมากันตั้งแต่เมื่อวานแล้วนะคะแต่ว่าลืมค่ะลืมมัวแต่ปั่นงานค่ะมีใครมาแล้วบ้างวันนี้ไม่คุยนานดูแต่ละคนสภาพเมื่อกี้ก่อนที่จะเริ่มรู้สึกว่าไม่ได้เขียนคิ้วแต่สามีบอกว่าไม่เป็นไรฉันก็ไม่ได้โกนหนวด
I don't even know what happened yesterday. Like we came home and I don't even think we realized it was Friday until like I was like and around 9:30 I was like, Pat, weren't we supposed to be doing something? Just like the days just kind of blend together now. It's just like I don't know what day it is. You know what day it is? I still don't know what day it is.
แต่ดีแล้วเมื่อวานนี้เห็นเพจอื่นดังๆเขาไลฟ์กันไงเราก็เลยไม่อยากแย่งซีนเขา
I feel like we're kind of lost in time. Yeah. But today we're full on scruffy. See? We're in scruff mode right now.
มันเหนื่อยอ่ะเหมือน 2-3 วันนี้งานเยอะอะค่ะก็เลยเหมือนแบบหมดแรงไงไม่รู้เมื่อเช้าก็ลูกปลุกอีกแล้วนะคะตี 4ลูกสาวตื่นมาคัดจมูกแล้วก็แต่พอดีพ่อยังทำงานอยู่ก็เลยพ่อจัดการไปแต่ว่าพอตี 5:30ก็แกล้งกันทะเลาะกันเสียงดังอีกแล้วนะคะที่บ้านตอนนี้ก็มีความคิดว่าอาจจะต้องแยกห้องลูกแล้วนะคะให้นิสาไปนอนห้องนึงแซมนอนห้องนึงเพราะว่าพอเขากวนกันแล้วมันทำให้เหมือนแบบทุกคนนอนไม่พอกันหมดแล้วก็อารมณ์ไม่ดีกันทั้งวันงองแงง้องแง้งเลยนะคะอ้าวเห็นนะพ่อมาลีมายเธอมาส่องฉันตลอดเวลาเลยนะมายนะ I can see when our friend
Yes. Hi, mine.
นี่ยังไม่ได้เข้าหัวข้อนะคะแค่ชวนคุยเฉยๆบ่นเรื่องลูกสารพัดสารเพนะคะ
Looking at thumbnail. It's too bad we can't select the thumbnail right away, but
วันนี้เราจะคุยกันเรื่องเหมือนตารางกิจวัตรของลูกอะไรอย่างเงี้ยเนาะระหว่างที่แบบลูกอยู่ที่บ้านเยอะๆเหล่านี้มีไอเดียตารางกิจวัตรอะไรยังไงกันบ้าง
Okay, you ready to start?
กี่นาทีละอีกสักแป๊บหนึ่ง2 นาทีก็แล้วกัน
Okay, talking about schedule ideas. Ooh, wait.
แปะผิดอันจ้า เอาใหม่นะคะ
That's not the backward one. I have.
เราปริ้นมา2 เวอร์ชันมีแบบที่กลับด้านด้วย
Yeah, I have one that's like this and another
เธ
one
อ
that's
ทำไม
like
เธ
this.
อไม่เตรียม
There we go. Schedule ideas. Okay.
เอาไงเนี่ยมี
Don't wait. I got it.
อ๋อโอเค
Set up. So today, the topic for today, we're going to talk about some ideas for scheduling because there's a little bit more to this topic than you might think. When you are responsible for your child's education at home, you really need to have a plan to help you kind of manage your day. If you don't, and you're just winging it, you end up not getting a really good quality time with your kid.
ก็คือเขาบอกว่าพอเราแบบว่าต้องมารับผิดชอบการศึกษาของลูกเองที่บ้านแล้วนะคะการที่แบบมีตารางกิจวัตรตารางเวลาเนี่ยมันจะช่วยให้เราแบบว่าเหมือนติดตามว่าวันนี้เราทำอะไรไปแล้วบ้างอะไรอย่างเงี้ยแล้วมันจะทำให้แบบเวลาของเรามันมีคุณภาพมากขึ้น
Okay. So first, let's talk about what subjects you might want to teach with your kid.
Okay.
Put this back here. Okay. So the first, of course, is academics, which is something everybody's concerned about. Now, some of you may have like requirements from your school, right? So some of you are doing online courses at school, and you're wondering how to fit that into your day. Okay, so I can't speak to that whether or not the school has specific times that you have to be online or if you're allowed to do the work whenever you feel like. If you're allowed to do the work whenever you feel like, then that's what we're going to talk about today. Okay, but the academics would be like reading and writing and math and those things, science and everything. So you have to look at what your school is going to require. The best thing to do would be to talk to your school if they don't have a plan already, which I'm sure most do, and then say, okay, well, how do I get my kid ready for July? Okay, what do I need to have in place by July so that my kid's ready to start the semester? Okay, next, this one's overlooked a lot. A lot of kids
กา
are
รออก
spending
กำลั
a
งกาย
ton of time inside. Okay,
ใช่ยิ่งช่วงเนี้ยเราอยู่ในบ้านเยอะด้วยนะคะ เราอาจจะมองข้ามการออกกำลังกายไปนะคะ ซึ่งมันเป็นส่วนสำคัญเช่นกัน
now I don't know how soon that play areas and things like that are going to open up, but the park has always been open. So find time to have exercise part of your day. Now that could just be some simple stretches. It could be going out for a walk. You have to judge your circumstance where you're at, your village, your street, what you can do. But make sure that exercise is part of your day every day, not just
ใช่
sometimes.
ทุกวันต้องออกกำลังกายนะคะอาจจะไปแบบเดินเล่นปั่นจักรยานอะไรก็ได้นอกบ้านหรือว่าจะเต้นอาราบิกอะไรกันอยู่ในบ้านก็ได้
Could be something where you just, you in your driveway, you just get some sidewalk chalk and draw an obstacle course and have your kid just jump through it and just get some, blood flowing. Okay, they're going to need that. It will really help with their focus later on.
ใช่เพราะว่าพวกการออกกำลังกายเนี่ยจะช่วยให้เด็กโฟกัสได้ดีขึ้นนะคะ
Okay. Now, always try to have some projects. Doesn't have to be anything fancy, but you can have some basic projects. And a really good idea is to have a project that's ongoing. Like maybe you're going to start a little window garden or something like that, or you're working on a project, doing a puppet show. You're going to make a different puppet every day. So, have an ongoing project and then other small craft ideas that they can do. So that's also really important. And then the last one, in America we call it home economics. But you can just, it's household chores,
งาน
daily
บ้า
life
น
stuff.
มีงานบ้านด้วยนะคะอันสุดท้ายโปรเจกต์ก็คือพวกกิจกรรมงานประดิษฐ์อะไรต่างๆอาจจะเป็นโปรเจกต์ใหญ่ๆยาวๆที่ททำทุกวัน
Now,
ใช้เวลาเป็น
this
เดือน
kind of
ก็
stuff
ได้
doesn't have to be boring or unfun. Okay, so for example, yesterday Pat made some yogurt popsicles with Nissa and everything like that. So just little like a cooking project or something like that they can do. Cleaning up their room. There's learning opportunities everywhere. So we can sort the laundry into lights and darks, and that can be a lesson on categorizing things. So there's learning opportunities everywhere in your house, and you can look for them even when you're just cleaning the house and doing tasks around the house. But also try and ground their lessons that they're learning up here in the academics. Try and ground them and use them in their daily life. So if they're learning something in math class, if they're learning fractions in math class, then find a way to use fractions around the house.
ก็คือเหมือนแบบช่วงงานบ้านเนี่ยจะเป็นเวลาหรืองานอะไรที่ทำในบ้านเนี่ยอาจจะเป็นเวลาที่เราเอาไอ้วิชาการที่เราเรียนนะคะมาประยุกต์ใช้ในชีวิตจริงนะคะสมมติตอนเช้าเรียนบวกเรียนลบไปอย่างเงี้ยพอตอนบ่ายช่วยแม่ทำงานบ้านเราก็อาจจะพยายามคิดว่าฉันจะทำยังไงที่จะแบบว่านำเสนอคอนเซปต์นี้ในงานบ้านอะไรรอบตัวเหล่านี้นะคะเพื่อที่จะได้เด็กจะได้รู้สึกว่ามันได้ใช้อะไรอย่างเงี้ย
Okay. So quick tips. Let's say you're getting your schedule out and you're going to do like, okay, Monday through Friday. And remember, because the last time we talked, we said make sure you give your kid a day or two off. All right. So don't be scheduling stuff on the weekends. Let them have time to just play and be a kid. All right. So we're going to commit to that change. We're going to let our kids have some time off. Okay.
ก็ any day แหละใช่ไหม It can be Monday Tuesday also
Our day off is Wednesdays. That's just I take that. That's my daddy day. I take the kids and we do something on Wednesdays, and because we work on the weekends. But the point is that you need to have that time off. Okay.
ลืมเวลาว่างด้วย
Nothing is planned. Okay.
ที่ไม่มีอะไรเลยที่ไม่
So that's actually the first thing. Now this includes in your daily plan, you need to have lots of white space. So don't fill up your entire schedule and be like, okay, at 8:05 we're going to do this, and at 8:10 we're going to do this, and at 8:15 we're going to do this, and you have like a super tight schedule. Make sure that you have lots of white space where it's like for half an hour, you got nothing planned at all.
ใช่เพราะฉะนั้นในระหว่างวันน่ะก็อยากให้มีเวลาที่มันว่างๆด้วยไม่ใช่แบบทุกวินาทีมีอะไรตลอดเลยอะไรอย่างเงี้ยค่ะ
Yeah, you want to give yourself enough room to make adjustments. Maybe the kid needs more time to go over a particular topic. Maybe something comes up. You want to like while they're learning something, maybe they want to explore something more detail. So you got to have flexibility to do that. Now, you do want to stick to a plan. Okay, so if you are planning on studying math that day, then study math that day. Now, maybe these two things might seem like they don't go together. Stick to a plan and be flexible, right? But you have to do this. You have to do both. This is welcome to teaching. Okay, this is what teachers do all the time. We make a plan and then we throw away the minute we go into the classroom. Okay, but without the plan, you're in big trouble. Okay, trust me.
คือต้องมีแผนก่อนแล้วพยายามที่จะสติ๊กกับมันแต่ว่าพอเราเข้าไปในห้องเรียนแล้วเราถ้าสมมติเป็นครูนะพอเราเข้าไปอยู่ในห้องเรียนแล้วถือเฮ้ยอันนี้ไม่ได้แล้วเราก็จะต้องแบบปรับเปลี่ยนได้อะไรอย่างนี้
Okay, you make the plan knowing that the minute you walk in to teach your kid, it's all out the window. Okay, but you make the plan because that gets you thinking about things. Okay, how am I going to present this to my kid? What materials do I need? Okay, so you make your plan and you stick to it. Okay, well, today we're going to learn our phonics. Today we're going to learn our math and everything like that. So you stick to that plan, but you also allow yourself to be flexible and you listen to your child and you let them guide you through it as well.
เพราะฉะนั้นก็นั่นแหละคือมีแผนไว้ก่อนแต่ว่าก็ต้องเพื่อที่เราจะได้แผนว่าเราจะเสนอเขายังไงเราจะทำยังไงให้เขาเข้าใจอะไรอย่างเงี้ยแต่พอถึงเวลาที่แบบว่าลองดูแล้วมันไม่เวิร์กอ่ะเราก็ต้องพร้อมที่จะปรับเปลี่ยนนะคะ
Think about this in this way. Like, let's say you're doing a really fun art project with your kid, and you've got the glue out and you get everything out, and you're just messing around and having a great time. You're laughing and enjoying yourself, and then you look up the clock and it's like, oh, time for math. It's like clean up everything. It's like no, push it back a little bit. Really enjoy that time with your kid. It's they're going to get more value out of that than any math lesson. Okay.
ใช่เหมือนแบบถ้ากำลังติดพันกับกิจกรรมอันนี้อยู่เราก็ไม่จำเป็นที่จะต้องตัดจบทันทีทันใดอะไรเงี้ยเพื่อที่จะไปเรียนวิชาอื่นเราอาจจะปล่อยให้มันแบบเขาให้เขาได้เต็มที่ก็ได้เพราะว่ามันน่าจะได้อะไรมากกว่าการแบบรีบไปวิชาถัดไปอะไรเงี้ย
Likewise, if you're doing like a math class or something like that and your kid clearly needs more time, clearly is like working on it, they're focused and they're doing well, but they clearly need more time on it or they want to explore further on something, go for it. It's an interesting math lesson. Keep it rolling an extra 10-15 minutes. So you got to have flexibility in your plan to kind of go with your child and see where they lead you. So you've got a plan in your mind, but you're not married to it. You're not like stuck on, okay, we got to get through this in 15 minutes because we got to get 6 other things done today. Okay, don't do that.
คือเรามีแพลนแต่ว่าไม่ได้ถึงขั้นว่าแบบต้องเป๊ะแบบว่าเฮ้ยไม่ได้แล้วหมดเวลาแล้วอะไรอย่างนั้นน่ะ
Now last one is keep it simple. Okay, when you talk about keeping it simple, a lot of times if you're a motivated parent, you want to do well, you get really complex plans. You start breaking things down like, okay, we're going to do this, we're going to do this, and you get all these elaborate projects that you want to do, and it just doesn't work. Okay, you spend so much time, sourcing materials, getting everything to work, and then your kid just wants to play with the box if the materials came in.
ใช่
Okay, so there's a balance there. You have to have it. You want to have projects and activities and lessons that are interesting and engaging, but you don't want to overdo it. And like you're doing all this prep work beforehand and you're getting all crazy about it when just a couple of scraps of paper and some blocks would have done just as well. บางทีเห็นคนแชร์แบบว่าเหมือนแบบ sensory bin หรืออะไรพวกนี้ที่แบบสวยมากดีมากอะไรเงี้ยเห็นแล้วแบบเหนื่อยจังเลยเพราะว่าบางทีเราเตรียมไปแบบว่าเวอร์วังอลังการขนาดนั้นน่ะเด็กมันไม่เล่นก็มีแล้วพันรู้สึกว่าบางทีผู้ปกครองหลายๆคนเวลาเตรียมอะไรเยอะๆอ่ะแล้วพอลูกไม่เล่นอ่ะจะรู้สึกเฟลมากแล้วก็จะรู้สึกว่ามันไม่อยากทำต่อแล้วอะไรเงี้ยพันเลยคิดว่าเราควรจะแบบว่าพอดีดีกว่าถ้าอันนี้มีแรงอาจทำแต่ว่าถ้าไม่มีแรงก็อะไรก็ได้ง่ายๆอ่ะให้เราเนี่ยสามารถที่จะทำต่อไปได้เรื่อยๆไม่ใช่แบบทำครั้งเดียวไว้ฉันเหนื่อยฉันหยุดแล้วอะไรอย่างเงี้ย Yeah, I really like it when complexity grows over time, where you start out with something simple and you build on it, and over time it becomes a very complex activity. But maybe at first you just start out with the basic building blocks, and that's generally the way I like to introduce things to my students in the classroom when I'm teaching. I go with a very basic outline of the project or something that we're going to do, and I break it down into very simple steps. Okay, so then over time we can add complexity to that, and so by the end they're able to do some very complex tasks. Okay, but it was step by step by step. So we might only do one step that day, set it aside, and go on to do something else. Come back to the next day, and then we do something else. I remember one time I had my students, we made a board game ourselves, and it was all paper mache, and it was really complicated, and it had different levels and all this stuff. It was really an amazing project, but it all started out with just okay, let's make a house. Okay, let's make a ghost. Let's make a piece. And it was like just one piece at a time. It took weeks to get that project done, but in the end it was this amazing looking project. It had like all these different things, and the kids had different levels, and they wrote stories about different things. It was all like this huge complex project, but it was just step by step by step. Each part of that project was one simple thing. Okay.
Okay.
All right. So let's talk about how to do this. Okay, how to do your schedule. Okay, well, first, if you're just doing your schedule, you can just write it out on a piece of paper. Okay, you don't have to
ดู
get.
เวลานอนเวลากินลูกด้วย
If you know Excel,
Look
you
at
can
like
use
the
Excel.
kid like sleep and tired,
Yeah, when are they sleepy? When are they tired? When do they need to eat? You look at their natural rhythm that they're already on, and you do want to kind of match their day that they would have had in school. Okay, so if they have a milk break at school at 10 o'clock, then match that. Okay, we talked about that a couple of seminars ago where we said you want to keep as much of your routine as possible. So you do want to have those things in there, but then don't feel like you have to conquer the world. Don't feel like you have to teach every subject. So if you're not comfortable teaching something, you can just overview that a little bit and then move on to the next thing. It's fine. So we're not trying to conquer the world. We're not trying to get everything done. Okay.
ใช่
Okay.
เอาที่เราสะดวกก่อนก็ได้อย่าไปคิดว่าแบบเราต้องทำทุกอย่าง
Okay. So like I said, you want to have real world math, real world English, real world studying science and everything like that. So for example, when they're taking a bath, okay, you can put different materials in there and say, hey, does this float? Does this, sink? And they can do some science right there and experiment with that while they're just taking a bath and enjoying themselves. You could do some math while they're sorting the socks. You got 2 socks, right? So that's a pair, 2, right? So let's count by 2s. Okay, so if we have 6 pairs of socks, how many socks do we have total? Okay, it'd be 6 times 2, right? So you can find ways to integrate math into your daily
ก็
life.
ได้อะคือพยายามมองหาโอกาสในชีวิตประจำวันนี่แหละมันได้ใช้เยอะมากเรื่องเงินซื้อนมซื้ออะไรอย่างเงี้ยก็ได้
Okay. The next one is lots and lots of reading. Okay. Now, it really breaks my heart again that kids are not reading enough and that people mistake reading a textbook as reading. Okay, no. Reading is an enjoyable, fun activity. It should be something where they're not reading it to memorize vocabulary or learn grammar or whatever. They're just reading a story because the story is fun and they
ใช่
enjoy it.
อ่านเพื่อความสนุกสนานอะไรแบบเนี้ยค่ะ
But I say at least 20 minutes a day reading, at least minimum.
อย่าง
Okay.
น้อย20 นาทีต่อวันเด็กเล็กก็ให้พ่อแม่อ่านใช่ไหม
You don't have to enforce that. You just have the books out and you say, okay, now's a quiet time. Why don't you go over into the reading nook and just stay there. They want to do something else. Don't pressure them. Okay, the more you push, the more they push back. But if you just say, I'd like you to spend quiet time. It's a bean bag. You've got some books in the basket. I want you to go over the bean bag and have 20 minutes of quiet time, and then we'll do something else. It gives them time to decompress. It gives them time to relax before you go on to the next activity. And if there's books available, guess what? They're going to pick those books up and read them. You don't have to tell them and make them do it.
ใช่ไม่ต้องบอกก็ได้แค่ให้โอกาสเขา
And if they want to go over there and like quietly play with some trucks or something like that or whatever, as long as it's quiet, great. Let them. The books are, you make things available. We talked about this in previous seminars as well. With presentation, you present things and then you just wait until they
ใช่
actually
เหมื
use
อน
it.
เราต้องเสนอเราวางไว้อยู่ในสายตาตลอดเวลาแต่ว่าลูกอยากจะไปหยิบเมื่อไหร่ก็แล้วแต่เขาแต่ว่า วางไว้ทุกวันน่ะวันหนึ่งมันต้องมีแบบสนใจบ้างแหละนะ
Yeah,
ถึงบอกว่าทำอะไรอ่ะมันต้องทำให้ได้นานๆ
I know I keep going back to these things, but it's something that I see in my centers all the time. Thai parents have a tendency to push,
ใช่เราต้องรู้จักรอ
Okay?
เหมือนแบบบางทีแบบเวลามาเรียนอย่างเงี้ยเด็กเขาก็จะแบบว่าฟังก่อนฟังมากๆเลยนะเขาอาจจะไม่พูดอะไรเลยนะ
Yeah.
เราต้องรอค่ะคือยังไงมันก็ต้องรอยิ่งถ้าเราดันอ่ะเขายิ่งดันกลับเขายิ่งไม่พูดเลย
You may think, well, it's the way my parents did it for me, and it's the way that it's done. All my neighbors, all my friends do it that way, but the results are in. Thailand's 74th in the world in English ability, and it just doesn't work. Okay, so that is the results are conclusive. The current methods don't work. So let's try something new. Okay, you know what? In the end, you're going to go back to school in July, right? So in the end, it's only a couple months you got with them. Experiment and see if just try.
ลองอะไรใหม่ๆบ้างช่วงเนี้ย
I mean, every year in America, we get 3 months off. We got June, July, August off. And nobody homeschools their kid during that time. You just go play, And we spend 3 months running around being kids and, digging up worms in the dirt, climbing trees, falling out of trees, going swimming with our friends, just being kids, riding our bikes around, throwing sticks at our neighbor's house and getting yelled at. That's childhood. That's what you do, okay? And there's no lesson planning that. There's no, mapping out each and every single minute of the day, right? So, in the end, even if you just said, all right, well, the next 2 months we're just going to chill and relax, okay, good for you. All right, if you do want to structure their day, and if they do have requirements from school and they need to meet certain requirements from their school, okay, well then we have to plan that into the day. But if you say, well, we're going to do all that in the morning, and then in the afternoon you have your time off, great, that's
แต่
fine.
ส่วนใหญ่เด็กเล็กอะเขาก็เรียนกันแค่ตอนเช้าอยู่แล้วหรือเปล่าประมาณแบบ45 นาที2 รอบอะไรเงี้ย
But all this pushing that we do with our kids is counterproductive. It doesn't help. So if you want your kid to read, then okay, you get out a book and you read, and you say, all right, this is our quiet time. I'm going to get out my book and I'm going to read, or my magazines or whatever, and I'm going to read. And there's books over there in the corner if you want to read them. If you don't, just play quietly so that I can read. And then you know what? The first day, maybe they'll play with some toys. Second day, maybe they'll play with some toys. Third days, they'll play with some toys. Fourth day, they're going to pick up a book and read it.
ใช่
Okay?
ใช่
And I get that from people all the time. Like, how do I get my kid to read? I push and I push and I push, and my kid won't read. Well, there's your answer. Your kid's not reading because you're pushing.
ใช่ทั้งทุกอย่างเลยเหมือนบางทีแบบที่เซ็นเตอร์เราจะมีทั้งหนังสือนิทานไทยแล้วก็นิทานอังกฤษนะคะเพราะว่าเราคือแค่อยากให้เขาอ่านเท่านั้นเองแล้วอ่านภาษาอะไรก็ได้ เพราะว่าเดี๋ยวสุดท้ายมันจะมาหยิบภาษาอังกฤษเองแหละถ้าภาษาไทยมันหมดอ่ะบางทีลูกค้าก็จะสงสัยว่าทำไมแบบในห้องเรียนมีภาษาไทยอย่างนั้นอย่างนู้นอย่างนี้ like just like in our center we have like both Thai book and English book and eventually they pick up English
Yeah,
book.
they read all the Thai books. They're done with them. They get bored reading them, and they're like, all right, I'll try this English book. And then,
เพราะฉะนั้นแบบมันไม่ได้เป็นเรื่องที่ต้องกังวลอะไรใดๆทั้งสิ้นเลยอ่ะ
Yeah, parents are always telling
แค่
me,
ต้องมี
why do you have Thai books in the center? Well,
ใช่
because we like reading. We want our kids to read. And if they're reading in Thai, eventually they're going to read in English. We don't have to push
ใช่
them.
คือ
They
กา
do
ร
it on their
อ่าน
own.
อ่ะมันเริ่มจากอะไรก็ได้เดี๋ยวมันก็มาเองขอให้มันชอบอ่านก่อนเถอะ
And when they take that first step on their own, they come at it when they're ready and they're stronger.
ใช่แล้วเขาเป็นคนเลือกที่จะหยิบเองจับเองอ่ะมันเหมือนแบบมันเป็นสิ่งที่เขาต้องการเองอ่ะมันดีกว่ามีใครมาผลักดันให้ทำอะไรอย่างเงี้ยค่ะ
But think about it from your own perspective, okay? If you were standing next to a swimming pool and somebody came along and pushed you, what would be your first reaction? Would you say, all right, jump in the pool, yay? Or would you be like, push back, right?
เราก็ต้องคงตะเกียกตะกายตกใจกระโดดกลับขึ้นมาไง
Right? So no one likes getting pushed.
เพราะฉะนั้นไม่มีใครชอบโดนผลักหรอก
And so you got to think about it from that perspective. Anything that you want your kid to do, maybe take a step, present it to them, encourage them, do it yourself, and then your kid will follow your example. So people are saying, how do I get my kid to speak more English? Are you talking to your kid in English? If you're not, then why are you expecting your kid to do something that you don't do? Okay? All right, so on to the next. I'm going to start ranting again. Sorry. Okay. So lots of reading, about 20 minutes a day. Crafts and activity. Have something prepared every day. It can be simple. It can be something like making stuff out of things you have lying around the house, toilet paper rolls. And start collecting that stuff actually.
หลอดกระดาษอะไรพวกเนี้ยต้องมีสีนะสีเพ้นท์นะ
Yeah, so what you can do is you can have a material box. Get one of those big plastic tubs and just start saving all of the cardboard boxes and toilet paper rolls and the tissue paper rolls and bottle caps and anything else, popsicle sticks. You go to the market, you get some sticks. Wash everything on, make sure there's no food on it, but then just keep a whole box of that stuff, and then whenever your kids want to do some activities, you can say, all right, let's make a robot out of some cardboard boxes, or let's use these materials for something to paper mache or frame or something like that, or to make a diorama, like, okay, we're studying about polar bears, so let's use this old box here, and we'll put some white or blue paper in the background, and we'll make some cotton for snow, and we'll make a little snow scene and do Arctic environment. Okay, so those kind of things, you have to start collecting that stuff now, so that you have it available for
เดี๋ยวลู
you.
กเบื่อเขาก็ไปประดิษฐ์อะไรอย่างเงี้ยช่วงนี้นิสาก็ชอบแบบทำซองจดหมายใช้เทปหมดไปเป็นม้วนๆเลยนะคะเทปเอาอะไรมาเขียนแล้วก็พับแล้วก็เทปใส่ซองจดหมาย
She says her kids love to read.
Yes.
Lila says your kids love. Congratulations, good job. All right.
She has twin I think
Yeah. So then they love to read now. I love to hear that when people are having success with their kids with reading. It's like
ถ้าเราอ่านนิทานแต่เด็กๆยังไงก็ต้องชอบ if you read when they were young then they absolutely gonna love to read แล้วเขาบอกว่าห้ามหยุดอ่านให้ฟังนะคะอ่านให้ฟังไปเรื่อยๆอาจจะมีบางช่วงที่ลูกบอกว่าไม่อยากให้อ่านให้ฟังแล้วอ่ะก็หยุดแต่ว่าก็เดี๋ยวเขาจะอยากให้เราอ่านต่อค่ะพอลูกโตเนี่ยเราจะเริ่มอ่านแบบแฮร์รี่พอตเตอร์หรืออะไรพวกนี้ให้เขาฟังก็ได้หนังสือที่แบบมีแต่อ่านตัวหนังสืออะไรอย่างเงี้ยค่ะ
Yeah, like you don't have an expectation that like a 1-year-old is going to like sit through an entire book. They're not going to do that. But what I would do, like with Nissa and with Sam, is if I start reading a book, then if they stand up and start walking around playing, I just keep reading. I read out loud to them. They're walking around. They're listening. And they'll come back and sit down when I go, oh, look at this part. The giant's, he's going to come. And then they come running back and they check on that. And then they go wander off again. But, you don't like open up a book, start reading, and then when your kid gets fidgety, you say, oh, my kid doesn't like reading. We're done.
ใช่อะทุกอย่างเลยสำหรับเด็กอะค่ะอย่าเพิ่งรีบตัดสินใจว่าลูกไม่ชอบลูกไม่เอาลูกไม่ทำอะไรอย่างเงี้ยแพทว่ามันเรียกว่าเรายังเสนอเขาไม่พอมากกว่า I said like for kids you don't like say that okay they don't like this they don't want this
Yeah.
I think it's more like we don't present them enough
Yeah, you just have to keep presenting. It's all about presenting. It's not about pushing and forcing them to do something. It's about you present it today, they don't like it,
เหมือน
present
อะไร
it
พวกเนี้ย
tomorrow.
เขาบอกว่าอาหารเนี่ยก็ต้องเสนอให้เด็กดูตั้ง15ครั้งเลยนะคะแล้วก็แบบต้องมากกว่า15ครั้งอ่ะกว่าเด็กจะยอมชิมอ่ะแล้วกว่าจะชิมแล้วชอบเนี่ยจะต้องชิมอีกเป็นไม่รู้กี่ครั้งเลยนะถึงลิ้นเขาจะแบบว่ารู้สึกว่าชอบรสชาติและ texture ประมาณนี้อะไรเงี้ย
You don't have to win every battle to win the war. Okay? If your child's 2 years old right now and they're not really into books or something like that, you have until they're 7 to fix that. So you've got 5 years.
แต่บอกเลยว่าถ้า
Take your time.
เลยเถิดไปถึงแบบ9ขวบ10ขวบอ่ะ if they're like 9-10 years old it's become like more difficult no
Much
when the
more.
kid doesn't want to spend time with parents anymore
Yes.
then it's more difficult
Much more. If you haven't built that trust from the beginning, then it's much more difficult once they start rebelling.
ใช่เพราะว่าพอเด็กโตแล้วอะค่ะเราเอาแค่ตัวเรามาล่อเขาไม่ได้แล้วตอนนี้คืออะไรที่ทำกับแม่กับพ่อเด็กก็อยากทำหมดอะแต่ว่าพอเขาโตเป็นหนุ่มเป็นสาวแล้วอะจะมาบอกมานั่งอ่านหนังสือกับแม่เร็วโอ้ยไม่มาหรอก
Okay. Next, let's talk about task analysis. Okay. So one of the things you can do, and this is a really key skill that I almost never, ever see kids being taught, and I'm curious why not. Okay. But actually, like
มันแปลว่าอะไรคะคุณพ่อ What does it mean
task analysis. Task analysis. Okay. I don't know how to translate this into Pasat Thai. Okay. Or I don't know if you guys even have this
just
concept.
like
Okay?
explains what's it like
Well, you do the job, and then after the job is finished, you reflect on how well that went. Could I have done things better? You know, was there a better way I could have handled this? Could I have streamlined things here? What difficulties did I encounter? Okay.
ซึ่ง
So
เราทำอย่างนี้บ่อยมาก
how
กับ
much
เด็กนัก
success
เรียน
did
ใน
I
ห้อง
have with that? Okay.
โอเคเหมือนแบบว่าให้ลูกรู้จักดูงานตัวเองแล้วก็คิดซิว่าเราสามารถที่จะปรับปรุงหรือเปลี่ยนแปลงหรือทำให้มันดีขึ้นอะไรได้มากกว่านี้ไหมอะไรอย่างเงี้ยค่ะดูผลงานตัวเองแล้วก็คิดดู
Yeah, I really don't know why this isn't taught, okay? It's a very key skill. Most successful people have this skill. And yet I don't see it being taught in any way, like reasonable way, like significant way here in Thailand. I see kids come in and like it goes back to what we were talking about previously about ownership of your education. They need to own their education. So they need to be thinking about, well, did I learn this? Okay. Where is that? Like when the kids you present them with something, you teach them something, and then there's no reflection on that. And the kids are like, did I really understand this material? Do I need to go over this again? I should be letting the people responsible for helping me, I should be letting them know that I'm having trouble and struggling. That just doesn't happen.
ใช่ถูกเพราะว่าจอร์จเขาบอกว่าไอการวิเคราะห์ผลงานตัวเองอะไรพวกนี้รู้สึกว่าไม่ได้สอนเลยไม่ค่อยเห็นเด็กมีเลยนะคะในเด็กที่จะเจอเพราะว่าเหมือนแบบเราสังเกตได้จากการที่พอเขาไม่เข้าใจแล้วเขาไม่พูดหรือเขาดูเหมือนแบบคือถ้าเด็กสนใจว่าผลงานหลังจากทำเสร็จแล้วมันเป็นยังไงเนี่ยถ้าเขาเรียนแล้วเขาไม่เข้าใจเขาควรจะยกมือแต่เด็กไทยส่วนใหญ่เนี่ยจะไม่เลยเหมือนแบบล่องลอยแล้วก็ปล่อยให้ทุกอย่างมันผ่านไปแล้วก็กลับบ้านไปอะไรอย่างเงี้ย
So you can encourage your kids to give your projects and your activities and your lessons a grade. Like how well did mom do teaching? Like do you think I did okay? Did I make this lesson fun for you? Was it interesting? What would you like me to do differently?
ใช่เพราะฉะนั้นเราอาจจะเริ่มจากการให้ลูกแบบวิจารณ์เราก่อนก็ได้ว่าวันนี้ที่แม่สอนหนูคิดว่ามันเป็นยังไงบ้างมันนานไปไหมมันเข้าใจไหมอะไรเงี้ยหนูอยากจะให้แม่เพิ่มเติมหรือเปลี่ยนแปลงอะไรไหมอะไรอย่างเงี้ยค่ะ
And you also can, when you're analyzing your task, you can break it down into different steps. So if you have like I was talking about before, if you have a very complex task, break that down into its component parts and then do each part. Don't try and do the whole thing. Do each piece. Okay, so task analysis, like you do it on the beforehand and on the end. Okay, so beforehand you look at it and you say, all right, when I'm planning my task, what steps, like, is this too difficult? Is this part too difficult for my child to do? My child doesn't know how to use scissors yet, so that cutting part, it's really complicated cut. Maybe I should do that part, or maybe we have to break it down into, I have to teach my kid how to like maybe snip out pieces of the paper, okay? So you break it down like that and think about it, and then on the tail end after you're finished, you go back over and you say, well, okay, how did that work? Was it a complete disaster? What do you think my kid learned from it? And you talk to your kid and engage him in that discussion. Too many people think that part is only the teacher or parent is doing that part, and the child has no business in evaluating their education. That's not true. The child should be like intimately involved in evaluating whether or not that lesson was successful.
ใช่เขาบอกว่ามันไม่ควรเป็นแค่ครูแล้วก็พ่อแม่นะคะควรจะเอาเด็กเนี่ยเข้ามาให้ความเห็นด้วยว่าโอเคบทเรียนเมื่อกี้เนี้ยคิดว่าเป็นยังไงบ้างอยากปรับปรุงตรงไหนไม่เข้าใจอะไรแบบเนี้ยค่ะ
Now also remembering our discussion last time about fixed mindset and growth mindset, if your kid is critical of your lesson, like then they may not vocalize it. They might say, "Mom, your teaching is boring." They might not do that. They might just show you by being a little bit naughty or whatever. Don't take that criticism personally. Okay, that's where you're being a fixed mindset and you're like insulted or hurt by criticism. If your child is showing you or telling you that your lessons are not interesting or boring, then or you're giving them too much to do and they want more free time, then you need to like respond to that positively and say, okay, I need to be constructive about this. What can I do better?
ใช่แล้วก็รับความเห็นของลูกมาปรับปรุง
Okay, so like let's say for example you are going to wash the dishes. Okay, so what what steps are involved in that process? Okay, first we have to, take all the dishes and stack them up and clean the food off of them and maybe put it in a bag and put that in the trash. Okay, so because you don't wash the food down the drain, right? So you're gonna clean the plates first, okay, and stack them all. Then you're gonna fill the sink, and then you're gonna put the soap in, and then you're going to, wash maybe the plates that don't have a lot of grease on them first, because if you take the greasy pan and you put that in the dishwater, then the dishwater is going to get all greasy and you can't wash your silverware, right? So, then you're going to put them on a rack and then you're going to dry them. Okay, so there's see, even a simple task like that has multiple steps along the way. Then you look at that and you say, okay, which of these steps can my child do? Okay, so if you want your child to help you with dishes, well, maybe giving them the glasses and the knives, not a good idea. But could they wash the plastic plates? Sure. You could take a tub, put it on the floor, put some water in there, put some soap in there, and your child can help you wash the dishes by sitting on the floor, because you don't want to have them up high up on a chair because they're going to fall off, right? So you think about all these things, you process that and say, what's safe and for my child to do, what is my child's capability, what can they do? And then you put the tub of water on the floor, you give them a couple of plates, and you say, you're going to help mommy wash the dishes. They sit down there, they make a big happy mess, they're having a good time, they're washing the dishes and everything like that, they're helping mom. And you're talking with them and you're engaging them, and that's a good time with your child. That is a valuable lesson.
เวลาที่ทำงานบ้านนะมักจะเป็นเวลาที่แบบมันเป็นเวลาที่แฮปปี้ตลอด
Not all lessons are academic. Okay? And then at the end of that, you say, well, okay, well, maybe they could have done more. Maybe that was too simple. I didn't give them enough. Maybe I need to put down a mat or something like that to pick up some more of the water because it got really messy in here. Or maybe I need to have them wash the dishes outside or something because they made a flood in the kitchen. So that task analysis goes all the way from planning through execution to afterwards. You have to analyze that task and see where you can improve for the next time.
ใช่
I've had some lessons I've done where the first time I ran through, it was an absolute disaster. Just terrible. Kids hated it, and it didn't work. But then, I looked at it, and I said, okay, well, I need to prepare these materials beforehand because it took me too long to do this part in front of the kids, and they got bored. And that's where the behavioral problem started. So once I analyzed my task afterwards and got feedback from my students, then now some of those activities are like my best go-to activities. The kids love them. But they started out, they were an unmitigated disaster. Okay, so don't give up on an activity just because it didn't go well the first time. It may be better the next time around.
ใช่เพราะฉะนั้นแบบกิจกรรมไหนทำแล้วมันไม่เวิร์กวันนี้อย่าเพิ่งแบบทิ้งมันอะไรอย่างเงี้ยนะคะเพราะว่าเอามาทำอีกเนี่ยเดี๋ยวจะชอบในที่สุดเองแหละ
Okay,
ต่อไปอะไร
Actually, I want to show you a picture I picked out on you. See, look at this child here compared to this child here. Okay, who do you think's having more fun? Right? So your kid's up all night till like 9, 10 o'clock at night studying like this with a workbook and a worksheet and just, work. This is, right? I feel sad for this kid. Okay? It's like somebody who's like a 40-year-old and they're in their job, It's like, gotta work all night. Oh, that's not childhood. Compared to this child's having a great time. Okay? Both of these children are learning. But one child is enjoying their education while the other one maybe not so much. And this one is going to end up only doing it when you tell them to, and they're not going to be a lifelong learner. Where this one's going to love learning for the rest of their
ถ้า
life.
เราแบบทำให้มันสนุกตลอดนะคะเขาจะอยากทำตลอดเลยเราไม่ต้องพุชไม่ต้องผลักดันไปตลอดชีวิตแต่ว่าถ้าเราไปบังคับตอนเนี้ยเขาก็จะทำแค่ตอนที่เราบังคับตอนที่เราอยู่ตอนที่เราดันถ้าเราไม่ดันเมื่อไหร่เขาก็แผลแหละ
Now, I'm not saying that you don't do this, okay? I'm just saying you don't only do this,
ใช่
okay?
แต่ไม่ได้หมายความ
There needs to
ว่า
be a balance.
เฮ้ยวิชาการอะไรพวกเนี้ยตัดออกไปให้หมดเลยอย่างนั้นก็ไม่ใช่นะก็คือทำบ้างแต่ว่าไม่ใช่ทำอยู่อย่างเดียวเลย
I'm not saying we all become hippies and we all just, like smell the flowers and gaze at the trees and just dance around like sunshine and
คือ
rainbows,
ชีวิต
okay?
คนเราก็ยังต้องอ่านหนังสือคิดเลขได้จ่ายของเป็นนะคะ
Yeah, so there needs to be a balance. And all things there needs to be balance and moderation. Okay,
ใช่
so
ทุกอย่างมันต้องแบบพอดีอ่ะ
I'm very very keen on that philosophy of moderation. You don't go to extremes. So this here, having your kids stay up till 9, 10 o'clock at night studying in workbooks and only doing worksheets and workbooks, only. And that's the only one way to learn. It's just not true. Okay? So only doing this, study, workbook, worksheet. You end up with a kid who doesn't have any life experience and they hate learning and they're not engaged and
ไม่
enthused
ถึ
with
ง
it.
ขั้นเกลียดแต่ว่าแบบเหมือนไม่มีจุดหมายอะค่ะ
Okay, but getting on, like you don't want to only do play too. They do need to do a little bit of this as well. So this should be, a combination of these two.
ใช่
Okay.
ผสมกัน
So now last one here is to unplug. Okay, that just means turn the screens off every now and then. Put the phones down, and just engage your kids as human beings. Without without a screen or a TV getting in the middle between you two. Okay, so just enjoy your time with the kids. Yes, I'd love to be a hippie too and all that stuff. That's fun. Okay, and I sometimes when I'm talking to people, I kind of sound a little bit like a hippie. I guess I'm kind of a lib, but like I talk about the energy flowing back and forth between people. I don't actually believe there's actual energy, although some people do. I don't, but it's just about, if you are putting negative energy into something, don't be surprised when you get negative energy back. So think about, like if you're, scolding your kid and pushing them all the time and it's negative, and you're motivating them through punishment, don't be surprised when you get a negative attitude back out of them. You're putting negative energy into that system, that relationship between you and your child, and you expect something positive to come out of that. It's self-evident, right? That if we want our kids to have a positive attitude towards their education, then we need to approach their education with a positive attitude. Okay?
Okay.
All right. That's actually all I have for the presentation. So now we're going to open it up to questions and answers.
มีใครอยากถาม
Might take
อะไร
a little
ไหม
bit
คะ
for
วันนี้เตรียมมาเท่านี้แหละค่ะสั้นๆเพราะว่าคราวที่แล้วยาวแล้วแล้วก็วันนี้แบบว่า อยากให้แบบว่าว่างๆบ้างอะไรอย่างนี้มีใครอยากถามอะไรไหมเอ่ย
Honey?
ฮะ
Crinkling noises. Okay. Yeah, actually, this is something right here. Like, okay, if your kid's doing online classes and they got fidgety hands, tell them to knock it off. Okay, it's really irritating for the teacher. I just had that today. I was like scolding some of my kids because they were, fidgeting with their microphones, and it was like. I'm like, please just stop. For the love of God, you're just driving me crazy. So please, for online classes and everything like that, you got to teach your kid to have quiet hands because there's a lot of noise when they move around and they've got Pat. Worst offender right here. Okay.
มันเพลินอ่ะ
Okay. So good. You can talk for a bit on if there's any questions coming up. It might take a minute for people to get their questions because of the time delay.
คุยอะไรดีขายของดีไหมคะ ตอนนี้เรามีคอร์สเรียนออนไลน์ด้วยนะคะก็คือมีทั้งแบบว่าจะมีที่แบบจอยกับแพททำจะเป็นแบบถ่ายวิดีโอสอนโฟนิกส์นะคะก็คือพ่อกับแม่ดูแล้วพ่อกับแม่ไปสอนลูกโดยเราจะมีแบบเวิร์กชีตมีอะไรให้อะไรแบบเนี้ยค่ะ If we play board game with my kid and they get upset when they lose how can we teach them
Yes
นิสาเคยเป็นแต่เดี๋ยวนี้นางไม่เป็นแล้วก็แบบดีมากขนาดแบบแพ้จากแม่บอกลองไปเล่นกับป้านีดูเผื่อป้านีไม่เคยเล่นมาก่อนหนูอาจจะชนะก็ได้ปรากฏว่าแพ้ป้าอีกนะคะกลับมาหัวเราะคิกคักเหมือนเขาเห็นเป็นเรื่องตลกสอนยังไง
Yeah, teaching.
Lisa right now is do well with losing จริง
She's getting better. Okay,
Yes.
She's better. Okay, not well. She's better. But yeah, it's something that you have to talk to your kid about, and after the moment, after the tantrum is passed, you can go back over that and say, in the moment, they're
ปล่อย
upset.
ก่อน
Let it go.
เขาแบบโมโหให้เขาโมโหอะไรให้
You can
เสร็
say
จ
like,
ก่อน
I don't like that behavior, and it makes me less likely to play games with you if you do that. So, what I try and encourage with my daughter is to remind her that playing the game is the fun part. It's not the, again, we're not results orientated, we're effort orientated. So we're talking about the journey, not the final destination. So did you have fun playing the game? Yeah, sure I did. So
อาจจะลองถาม
focus on that.
ระหว่างที่หนูเล่นน่ะหนูสนุกไหมอ่ะสนุกแม่ก็สนุกนะเราก็สนุกด้วยกันอะไรอย่างเงี้ยส่วนผลน่ะมันจะเป็นยังไงก็ให้มันเป็นไปเถอะอะไรอย่างเงี้ยค่ะแล้วก็แบบสอนให้เขาพูดว่า good game อะไรอย่างงี้เนาะ
Yes. Teaching sportsmanship is something that I think it makes your kid a better person.
ใช่มันจะทำให้เขาแบบถ้าเขารู้จักเห็นอกเห็นใจคนอื่นมันก็ทำให้เขาเป็นคนที่ดีขึ้นในสังคม
But some kids, they don't lose well. And I think that's something where, that's something you can't expect a school to teach. That's where parenting comes in.
แต่บางทีเราเล่นเกมที่เซ็นเตอร์บ่อยๆอ่ะเราก็เจอเด็กเยอะมากเลยที่แพ้ไม่ได้แพ้แล้วจะร้องไห้หงุดหงิดเสียใจหรือบางคนอ่ะมันเป็นเกมที่แบบเป็นดวงอะค่ะเขาก็จะสับสนมากว่าทำไมเขาไม่ชนะเกมนี้สักทีคือมันดวงไงคราวนี้ก็เลยบอกว่าเราก็เน้นแบบเล่นบ่อยๆให้มันแพ้จนชิน
Yeah, actually we got a couple of things, but I wanted to just touch on that briefly. Like some people are really focused on getting into the good school, right? Okay, and once they're in the good school, okay, I'm done. I've done my job as a parent. I got them to pass that exam, and now I'm done. But in reality, though, your kid needs a lot from you. They're not going to learn good handwriting without a parent. They're not going to learn sportsmanship and morality and everything without a parent. So you have to keep investing in their education all the way along. Just getting them into the school, just getting them in the door is not enough. Okay. So don't have that mindset of like, okay, well now they're in the good school, I don't have to worry. The school's going to take care of everything. No. And I have that where people come into my center a lot too, and they're like, here's my kid, fix him.
ใช่
And it's like, I'm not their parent. I can't do it for you.
ใช่โดยเฉพาะถ้าเรามีเวลาเขาแค่แบบวันชั่วโมงนี้อย่างเงี้ยมันจะเป็นไปได้ไงที่เราจะเปลี่ยนเด็กคนนึงไปเลยอะไรเงี้ยค่ะ
Yeah, and they get quite annoyed with me. Like, what do you mean you can't fix my kid? Well, I'm like, I get him for an hour a week.
How about if my kid doesn't follow the rules of the game?
Well, yeah. So that's another thing. Like, same thing with losing well or winning well. Because some kids don't win well either.
ใครนะ
Some people don't win well. They rub it in. Okay, like my 4-year-old daughter loses at a game and she's like, ha ha, gotcha.
ไม่แน่นิสาอาจจะทำใจได้เพราะแม่ก็ได้นะ Maybe I just train Nisa well because she play with me.
Yeah, and she sees what a sore win is like. Yeah. Pat's like hyper competitive with her 4-year-old daughter. It's like, I'm gonna beat you. Ha ha, I got you. And it's like, she's 4. Can you lay up? And it's like, ease up. Okay, yeah, you beat a 4-year-old in Monopoly. Okay, chill. Okay, that's what we have in this house. Okay, so yeah, Pat's a poor example here. But yeah, like winning well, losing well, playing the game well, following the rules. All these skills. Actually, I like games because they do teach a lot of those skills. And like when I go out and play games with some of my friends, I often tell Pat, like, I can tell a lot about a person based on how they play a game. And so when I sit down and play a board game, I go to a board game cafe, play with people, or I go play cards with my friends, and I see how they play. Oftentimes it's like, I don't want to be friends with that guy, because they're a bad person. And you can tell by the way they play a game. And so, there's a lot to it, more than just, like you're playing a game, but how you interact, how you socialize with people, what you care about. Do you care about winning, or do you care about having a good experience with your friends?
ใช่เอาอย่างนี้ก็ได้ถ้าสมมติว่าเราชนะใช่ไหมพ่อกับแม่อาจจะพูดเองก็ได้ว่าเราแพ้ maybe just show by example also like if I lose I kind of like I lose this time.
Yeah, showing by example. That's actually how you do it. And also like, okay, like if they don't follow the rules of the game, you say, well, the game's not fun if we don't follow the rules. What if everybody did that?
เราชอบยกตัวอย่างประมาณว่าถ้าสมมติว่าเราเล่นเตะฟุตบอลกันอย่างเงี้ยค่ะแล้วถ้าสมมติว่ามีเพื่อนคนนึงวิ่งมาแล้วก็กอดลูกบอลไว้ตลอดเวลาเลยอย่างเงี้ยหนูว่าจะเตะลูกบอลกันสนุกไหมถ้ามีคนนึงแบบจับลูกบอลไว้กอดไว้แล้วก็วิ่งหนีไปอย่างเงี้ยเด็กก็จะบอกว่าไม่สนุกอะไรเงี้ยค่ะเพราะฉะนั้นก็นี่ก็เหมือนกันเวลาที่เราเล่นเกมแล้วถ้าหนูไม่ทำตามกติกามันก็เหมือนไอ้เด็กคนนั้นน่ะที่มันจับลูกบอลแล้วมันก็วิ่งหนีไปเลยแล้วก็ไม่มีใครมีลูกบอลเล่นเลยอะไรเงี้ย
Yeah, actually, like that reminds me of like something I often have to do in my classrooms, which is you have to actually teach empathy. Okay, little kids don't have empathy. The whole world revolves around them, and other people, their feelings don't matter. And that's just that's a toddler. I mean, that's what toddlers are. They
เขา
don't
ไม่
have
รู้จน
empathy.
กว่าจะแบบ 4-5 ขวบเลยนะ maybe 4-5 years old
Yeah, and if an adult acted like a toddler, they'd be a psychopath. Okay, but so but kids are very narcissistic. They're very like focused on themselves. My needs, what I want, and that struggle between when they're 2 all the way up until they're about 4 or 5 is getting them to see other people, recognize that other people have emotions, and care about that. That is, something parents have to do. Then, so like when I'm in the classroom, a lot of times like the little kids will pinch their friend, they'll pinch them, and they don't think that hurts and that their friend is getting hurt. They're just like, oh, I'm curious, like I'm just gonna do this, and all of a sudden they'll do it too hard, or just actually, Pat was showing me a video today of Sam is just whacking Nissa on the head with an airplane, because hey,
ตอนแรกก็เหมือนแค่ไถตอนแรกก็ไถก่อน
Yeah, he started out
แต่
nice.
ลองตีแป๊บ
Started out nice,
แล้ว
and he's like, well, what would happen if I hit you with this airplane? It's a metal airplane, it's really heavy,
แล้ว
it's
แซม
just
ก็
a
ตี
crack,
ตีแบบเยอะมากอ่ะ
And we were actually very impressed with the way Nissa handled it because she was just like, Sam, I don't like this. You shouldn't hit your sister. So she handled it well. She didn't hit him back, which is
ใช่
good.
ก็งงมาก
Good
ว่า
big
นิสา
sister.
ไม่ตีคืนแปลก
Okay, but you have to kind of let the kids sort that out themselves. But that's something where like a toddler will do that because they don't know. That you have feelings and that you can get hurt. And so, same thing when you're playing a game. They might be like, well, I want to win, so I'm going to cheat, or I'm not going to follow the rules of the game because I want to win. But another thing actually is you should, if your kid's not following the rules of the game, you should also check, like this is where we talk about task analysis again. Is the game too difficult?
ใช่
Are they
ต้องกลับไป
skipping
ดู
rules
ด้
because
วย
they
ว่า
just don't get it?
เกมมันยากไปไหมทำให้เขาแบบว่ารู้สึกไม่อยากจะทำตามกฎของมันอะไรอย่างเงี้ยค่ะ
Yeah, I have lots of junior versions of games that we play, and the rules are simplified for the kids. I don't have very many here, but for example, let me grab one here.
เรามีเกมเยอะมากนะคะจริงๆบอร์ดเกมมันก็แพงเนาะแบบกล่องหนึ่งก็900 1,000เป็นอย่างต่ำนะคะแต่ว่ามันอยู่ได้นานมากแบบเนี่ยดูบางเกมตั้งแต่จอร์จเด็กๆอะค่ะ เราก็จะรู้สึกคุ้ม How old is that game?
This is actually an original. Okay, I bought this off of eBay. This is an original Risk game. Okay, it's like $150, even though the box is trashed. Okay, so this game super complex, takes 3-4 hours to win. You don't play this with a kid. Okay.
อันนี้ไม่ได้
All right. Whereas here, this is Scrabble Junior. Okay, and what they've done is they've simplified the game. So, see, it's actually got like a different board than the regular Scrabble game. So they have like a board like this, where you're not multiplying or doing anything like that, and then they have a board that's even easier for little babies.
บอร์ดเกมเป็นอะไรที่สร้างความสัมพันธ์ในครอบครัวนะคะทุกคนควรจะมีเล่น
So somebody's put a lot of thought into simplifying and distilling the essence of the game down to a level where a kid could understand it. But it's not something where you're going to take a super complex game like this that's made for adults. That adults have trouble with.
Somebody said which game you have that you recommend for young kids.
Well, I mean, this is one.
Sequence ไหม Sequence
We bought this one at I think B2E.
อันนี้ก็ง่ายค่ะ
This one's pretty good.
Mr. Wolf เนี่ย
Yeah, this one's really fun actually.
อันเนี้ยสนุกแต่ว่าพัดว่ามันก็ค่อนข้างยากนะอาจจะสัก5 ขวบ
We got this one at B2E I think as well, right?
จำไม่ได้อะ
Or B2S. Yeah, we got one. I think we got it at Central App Route.
อันนี้จะแพงกว่าอันนี้น่าจะ 2,000
Yeah, well, the board games, the good ones are expensive, so be prepared for some sticker
แต่
shock.
ว่าแพนเห็นของจีนมีนะแต่ว่าแพนไม่แน่ใจว่าของจีนอะเวลาอันเนี้ยคือกระเป๋ามันปิดอะมันจะ
This
ส
is
นิทไหม
actually
ไง
there's many different versions of Sequence. The one I have at my center is just with animals. That's for like younger kids. This one's for slightly older kids because it doesn't have any words on the board, and you have to know that like okay that's a violin and it starts with V. So, but it's Sequence. There's many different varieties. You just pick the one that's at your kid's level.
Sequence ก็มีหลายเลเวลก็เลือกเลเวลที่มันเหมาะกับลูกเราอย่างเงี้ย
Now, something like Battleship or something like that, you could play this with like if the parents play against each other and then the kid helps out.
นิสาชอบ
Too many
แต่
small
ว่าเขาเล่น
pieces.
ไม่เป็นนะคะเพราะว่ามันแบบต้องดูเหมือนดูกราฟไง
Okay.
แต่ว่าก็ชอบชวนเล่นเกมนี้ก็งงๆเหมือนกันว่ามันสนุกยังไงกับเขา
Now this one here is, it looks like it's a game for kids, okay? Because it's just got, the words on here and stuff like that, and it is a much simpler version of the game. I actually have a big picture one that's just pictures as well. Apples to Apples is a great game. This is a really, really good game for, I say, around 10 years old.
10 ขวบอันเนี้ยค่ะ
Okay. Basically, when you're looking, okay, well,
นี่ไงมี
yeah, well,
มีอา
okay,
ยุบอก
yeah. So what I would do, since when I look at the age recommendations on a game for EFL, for English as a foreign language, what I do is I just add a couple of years. So if it's a game that's recommended for a 9-year-old, I might do this with a 10, 13-year-old.
ถ้า
Something
เป็น
like
เก
that.
มของเกมภาษาอังกฤษอะค่ะอาจจะบวกสมมติว่าหน้ากล่อง7 ขวบอาจจะบวกเพิ่มไปสัก2 ปีก็ได้ค่ะรอลูก9 ขวบค่อยเล่นแต่ที่เซ็นเตอร์จะมีเกมของเด็กกว่านี้นะคะมีพวกเกมเหมือนเกมบันไดงูอะไรพวกนี้ก็ง่ายค่ะสำหรับเด็กเนี่ยรู้ไหมว่าแบบต้องสอนเขาทอยลูกเต๋าด้วยนะมันไม่ใช่ว่าจะทอยกันง่ายๆเลยนะคะเพราะฉะนั้นเหมือนการเล่นบอร์ดเกมแบบลูกจะได้อะไรเยอะมากที่เขาปกติไม่ได้อะไรเงี้ยการเดินตามช่องอะก็ต้องสอนนะคะไม่ได้เดินตามช่องกันแต่แรกนะคะเด็กเนี่ย
Yeah, now this is the game that I play. Okay.
นี่เดี๋ยวแพทจะโพสต์เกมนี้Magic Junior
Yeah,
I
so-
will post for them
So what I did,
Free.
I took this game and I simplified it down for and translated it into Pasatai. Well, Pat translated it.
เกม
But-
เนี้ยเป็นเกมที่แบบจอร์จเขาชอบเล่นมาเป็น 10-20 ปีแล้วค่ะการ์ดอันเนี้ยมันก็จะแบบว่าขายได้ซื้อได้เหมือนแบบราคามีขึ้นมีลงนะคะคราวเนี้ยชื่อนิสาก็มาจากเกมนี้และ
Yeah, you can actually go to
ชอบเล่นมาก
magic-junior.com and you can download the game right now, but it's in English. Thai version will be up soon.
มีภาษาไทยแล้ว
It has Pasatai already?
yes
It does? Oh, it just doesn't have the how to play in
เดี๋ยว
Pasatai.
แพทสอนพรุ่งนี้
Yeah, Pat's gonna do that. So that's
แต่ว่าแพทว่าถ้าแบบว่าประมาณนี้
if somebody already knows how to play Magic, they would be able
ช
to
อบ
do it.
เล่นมากแต่เด็กนักเรียนที่เคยสอนนะ5 ขวบอ่ะจะชอบมากก็คือ5 ขวบเริ่มเล่นเป็นนะคะ
But I'm a big believer in games as a way to teach. They're like you learn a lot from playing games.
ใช่แล้วมันเป็นเหมือนสิ่งที่ motivate ให้เด็กอยากอ่านภาษาอังกฤษได้ดีมากเลยอย่างไอการ์ดเมื่อกี้แบบเพื่อน
Yeah, so when they start opening up the stores, they just order
ภา
online,
ษาอังกฤษเทพมาก
get some games. The games that they have like at Tesco Lotus, those cheap games that they're like the Thai versions of something like it's like a Thai version of crossword or whatever. Those are really cheaply made and they're not really good. You want to get something with that's gonna last.
เอา
It's
สัก
gonna
กล่อง
take
ละ
a
1,000
beating.
ขึ้นไปอ่ะเนาะ maybe 1,000 บาท or more
Yeah, it's gonna- yeah.
would be able to take a
A couple of good board games are gonna cost you some money, so
ใช่
be prepared for some sticker shock on that. But it's worth it. It really is. The kids, like you have a game night once a week or something like that. Play with your kids, and it's just a good family bonding experience.
ใช่ถ้านิสาเห็นเรานั่งอยู่ในห้องเนี้ยบูรูมเนี่ยเป็นห้องที่แบบสำหรับเล่นเกมเขาจะตื่นเต้นมากคิดว่าจะได้เล่นเกม
And going back to what she was saying about like the kids were not following the rules or not winning well, when you're playing a game like that, it's a really good opportunity to teach those moral lessons to your kids of how to be a good person.
ใช่
If you're just sitting around talking to your kids like I need you to be a better person, blah blah blah, then they don't really listen to you. But if you're playing a game with them, then you can kind of consider it like a practice of real world morality.
เหมือนได้โรลเพย์
So you got your kids, they are playing games and maybe one of them cheats or something like that, right? And then you have a really good opportunity to sit down and talk to them like what if everybody cheated, and you can have it's an opportunity to practice morality where there's no consequence, right? Like if they cheated on a test, they might get an F at school, right? They might like cost them academically, but if you get an opportunity through a game to teach them about cheating before they suffer real world consequences, then that's a valuable thing. So, I strongly recommend a board game night just for that reason alone, but also just because it's fun.
ใช่
You get to hang out with your kid, play it.
แล้วก็แม่อุ้ยที่บอกว่าลูกเต๋าคอนโทรลยากกระเด็นไปไกลค่ะถ้าที่โรงเรียนนะคะถ้าแพทสอนเด็กแล้วเด็กแบบว่าทอยแทบจะไม่ได้เลยเนี่ยเรามักจะเอาแบบมันไปใส่กล่องนะคะใสๆแล้วก็ให้เขาเขย่าเอา
What's that?
Because one of the mom said yes my kids have difficulty rolling the dice because I told them that the dice is difficult to
actually like when kids they grab it they don't have that let go reflex they just kind of just shake it like this
แล้วอยากจะกำไว้เลยเวลาจะปล่อยยาก
they can maybe drop it or something like that so there are ways to help them with that you could put the dice into a cup shake it like that and then do it like that so that's again going back to task analysis there are a lot of things that you can do to help your child manage a more complex task if you break it down or give them tools like so for example when Nissa she wakes up really early in the morning and we don't want to get up and make her breakfast but the jug of milk is too big and too heavy for her to pour into her cereal bowl by herself but if we pour the cereal out into a bowl the night before, put it in the refrigerator, and then we put a small cup of milk next to it. She can wake up, come out, open the refrigerator, get the bowl out, get the small cup of milk out, and make herself breakfast in the morning without waking anybody up. 4 years old, she's making her own breakfast in the morning. So because you manage that task, you look and say, okay, I can't expect my 4-year-old to take a huge jug of milk and pour it into a bowl without getting milk all over the table. But if I break that task down and analyze it, I can make it so that she can do it.
There is another mom said like, I'm not sure if you were talking about your child education in the future. What are you doing with her education in the system or?
Oh yeah, like what are we gonna do? Hopefully by that.
ค่ะเขาต้องอยู่อ.1 นี่จะขึ้นอ.2 แล้วค่ะแต่ว่าเราไม่ได้ส่ง
Quite honestly, I hope to never have to never be forced to put my kid into the Thai education system. I don't believe in it at all. My goal actually is to put Nissa into school when she's 10, and it'll be my school. So that's my goal. I want to open a school
ก็คือตอนนี้ค่ะแพทกับจอร์ดโฮมสคูลลูกค่ะโดยการเปิดคลาสสำหรับนิสาค่ะเป็นเหมือนตารางโรงเรียนเลยเพียงแต่ว่าเราจะเรียนแค่2ชั่วโมงช่วงเช้าหรือช่วงบ่าย
Anybody out there who wants to invest in a school and have a headmaster and everything like that, I'll be it. And because we want to.
แล้วก็เราแพลนว่าเราก็จะโฮมสคูลอย่างเงี้ยไปจนถึงเขาอายุประมาณ9 ขวบ 10 ขวบช่วงนั้นเนี่ยเด็กจะเริ่มเป็นสาวนะคะเขาคงไม่อยากอยู่กับเรามากแล้วเราก็คิดว่าบุคลิกอะไรของเขาน่าจะเสร็จแล้วคือทุกวันนี้ที่เห็นลูกก็รู้สึกว่าถ้าตอนนี้เขาไปโรงเรียนเขาน่าจะได้แล้วนะคงไม่มีใครมาพูดหรือทำอะไรให้ลูกเรารู้สึกว่าไม่ได้เด็กผู้หญิงไม่ทำแบบนั้นอย่างเงี้ยอะไรเงี้ย
On the one hand, if I had the millions of baht necessary to open a school, I'd open it right now today. But the problem with that is that the system is still broken, and the system has so many requirements from the schools that are just counterproductive. So opening an actual school and stuff like that, I don't know. It's like it's a lot of work and it may end up being something that I don't want it to be. I would rather have my kids maybe go into pods, not classrooms, be more mobile, more flexible, work in different subject matter based on ability, not on age.
เวลาที่เราอยากจะสอนอะไรลูก
A lot more radical than what people are doing here.
เราก็ดูว่าเขาสนใจอะไรอยู่แล้วเราสามารถที่จะเปลี่ยนหัวข้อไปตามสิ่งที่นักเรียนของเราสนใจได้เลยเพราะว่าในคลาสจะมีเด็กน้อยมากอะไรอย่างเงี้ยค่ะคราวนี้ถ้าช่วงนั้นเขาอินเจ้าหญิงอินนู่นอินเนี่ยเราก็สามารถที่จะสอนเลขสอนอะไรก็ได้ผ่านเจ้าหญิงอะไรเงี้ยแล้วลูกก็จะอยากเรียนเพราะฉะนั้นเหมือนช่วงนี้เรารู้สึกว่าเราทำได้ทุกอย่างที่โรงเรียนทำได้แล้วก็ทำได้ดีกว่าด้วยความที่เราดูเด็กจำนวนน้อยอะไรเงี้ย
I'm going to be controversial here. I don't know why people have to wear uniforms to go to school. I don't understand that at all. Okay, everybody knows who the rich kids are, so it doesn't really mask that. And I just don't see the point. Like, why are we all wearing uniforms? Because you wore them as kids. That's the only reason why. It just doesn't change. These are things about the system. Why? I mean, I taught at schools before, and I stood out there in the blazing heat for flag duty for an hour and a half sometimes because you got somebody droning on about announcements or somebody come to do a ceremony or something like that. And you've got all these kids standing up in military order. And it's like, am I at a boot camp or a school? I mean, it's military drills. They do the scout training. They're all like, it's all about turning left, turning right. the outside, the quad, you know.
หันซ้ายหันขวาหันซ้ายหันขวา
Yeah. What is that? Okay. So as an American, I look at that and I'm just like, what are you doing? You know, that's not education. But you know, it's part of the culture here, and it's really going to be hard to undo stuff like that. And if I were to open up a school, people would have that expectation of like, why don't you have your kids out, you know, doing military drills in the morning? And you know, I just don't see that as valuable for their education. I'd rather spend that time more wisely.
Right.
But yeah, so that's, you know, me being controversial. Sorry. Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean the system is broken, right? That's Charlie. Okay. Yeah, the system is broken.
She's the one that want to run around in the flower field.
Yes, I agree. Well, no, but you know, honestly, like in a lot of like places like in Scandinavia, they have the kids go to school around when they're 10 years old. And so for the first 10 years of their life, they are literally running around in the fields playing with flowers and, you know, catching bees and stuff like that and experiencing nature. And they turn out just fine. Scandinavia is the happiest place in the world, and they have a great economy. And, you know, it's their kids do not suffer from that. You know, you've got like kindergartners having nervous breakdowns because they can't handle the exam pressure. And in Scandinavia, you have kids who are like climbing a tree, you know, and having a good time and everything like that. And then they go to school when they're 10, and they don't even they go like half a day. And the rest of the day, they maybe do their own projects and stuff like that. A lot of American schools are doing that too. That when the Thai kids go to America, they're like, what do I do with all this study hall time? You got just, you do your work. You got your own projects you're working on.
ใช่เขามีเวลาว่างไงให้คุณไปศึกษาสิ่งที่ตัวเองสนใจแต่ว่าตอนนี้ของเราอ่ะไม่มีเวลาว่างให้ศึกษาอะไรอีกแล้วนอกจากแค่สอบอะไรเงี้ยอันนั้นไม่ว่าคนละระบบคราวนี้แพทก็ไม่ได้ว่าแบบคนที่ส่งลูกไปโรงเรียนจะไม่ดีเลยเราก็ต้องดูตามแบบวิถีชีวิตของเรา
One of the problems with the Thai system is that it wants to move all the kids through the system at the same pace. Every kid going together all in lockstep, you know. So we're all going to learn fractions when we're 7. We're all going to learn division when we're 8 or something like that. Whatever. It's just you know, like it's in a lockstep. So the kids who are more advanced, they have to pull back. The kids who are falling behind, they keep falling behind because they can't keep up. So there is no flexibility and recognition that each child is different and each child learns differently.
ใช่เพราะว่าจริงๆแล้วเด็กมันไม่ได้พัฒนาเหมือนกันอะเด็กที่เร็วก็ควรจะได้ไปเร็วๆนะไปเรียนอะไรที่มันท้าทายสำหรับเขาเพราะบางครั้งเราก็เห็นเด็กที่เก่งเนี่ยพออยู่ในระบบที่มันต้องรอมันน่าเบื่อสำหรับเขาเนี่ยกลายเป็นว่าเขาจะไม่ค่อยโฟกัสเวลาเรียนเพราะเขารู้สึกว่าโอ้ยรู้หมดแล้วกลายเป็นว่าไม่ได้พัฒนานิสัยที่การเรียนที่ต้องแบบตั้งใจเรียนอะไรเงี้ยเพราะคิดว่ารู้หมดแล้วอะไรเงี้ยค่ะกลายเป็นว่าพอมันถึงตอนที่มันยากจริงๆอ่ะก็ไปต่อไม่ได้อีกอะไรเงี้ยแล้วไอ้เด็กที่มันไม่ทันอ่ะมันก็ล้าหลังแล้วมันล้าหลังเลยอ่ะคือบางคนเหมือนแบบล้าหลังไปได้แบบเป็น6 ปี7 ปีเลยนะ
Okay, we gotta be careful, Pat. We're just gonna these seminars are gonna turn into just us complaining about education. It's just gonna go into so, but for practical tips about with scheduling and everything like that, you want to kind of keep these things in mind that you don't necessarily have to do everything that they do at school.
ใช่เพราะฉะนั้นเรามีโอกาสสอนลูกเองเนี่ยเราไม่จำเป็นต้องยัดเยียดเท่าโรงเรียนหรอก
Follow some of the routine, but you know you don't have to be waking your kid up at 6 o'clock in the morning to go out and do flag duty. Okay, you know you don't need to do that. Okay, so you know there's some things that you don't need to copy everything about. But you know some people find a benefit by having their kid dress up in their uniform during this, you know, their lesson time. So if you're going to have lessons in the morning, you make your kid wear their uniform, sit in their desk, and that helps kind of put them into that mindset. I'm a student today. And then let them take it off and be kids after in the afternoon. Okay. So I found the school I really like, tons of outdoor time, real nature exploring, very child-led. Unfortunately, school isn't in our province. I went to homeschool for kindergarten, but need to think about. Yeah, you know, one thing you have to do if you're going to homeschool now. I actually get annoyed with some homeschoolers too because they unschool, where they don't teach their kid anything, and then when it comes time to put their kid into the system, then they're like, oh my god, I don't believe why this school isn't letting me put my kid into this school when my kid has like no evidence of any academic learning at all, and there's
ใช่
you know, like,
เวลาทำ
why would the school take your kid?
แพทย์อยากให้ทุกคนม มองไม่ได้มองจากมุมของเราอย่างเดียวมองจากมุมของเด็กด้วยนะคะว่าวันหนึ่งลูกเราเป็นวัยรุ่นเขาจะอยากอยู่กับเพื่อนเขาจะอยากมีแฟนเนาะ11-12 ขวบเนี่ยเขาจะรู้สึกอะไรพวกนั้นแล้วอะคราวนี้ถ้าเราไม่ได้เตรียมตัวพื้นฐานอะไรเขามาเลยอะเผื่อวันหนึ่งที่เขาตัดสินใจที่เขาอยากจะไปโรงเรียนขึ้นมาเราพร้อมไหมให้เขาทำอย่างนั้นน่ะมันจะกลายเป็นว่าสิ่งที่ลูกเราอยากทำจริงๆมันไม่ได้ถ้าอยากให้มองกว้างๆอะนะมองกว้างๆว่าเหมือนแบบโฮมสคูลเราให้ลูกเรามีทางเลือกเยอะๆด้วยอะไรเงี้ยค่ะไม่ใช่ว่าเราโฮมสคูลซะจนลูกเราเหมือนไปได้แค่ทางเดียวอ่ะบางทีความชอบของเด็ก5 ขวบ 6 ขวบตอนนี้มันก็ไม่ได้เซ็ตถูกไหมเพราะเขายังเจอโลกอยู่แค่5 ปีเองเราต้องคิดถึงว่าเหมือนแพทย์จะพยายามแบบให้นิสาแบบเปิดกว้างๆอะไรเงี้ยค่ะให้เขาดูว่าเขาชอบอะไรให้ได้ลองได้อะไรไม่ใช่แบบแพทย์จะโฟกัสแค่อย่างเดียวเธอต้องทำนี้แบบนี้เท่านั้นอะไรเงี้ยลูกมันก็ไม่ได้เห็นอะไรต่างๆนานาคราวนี้นั่นแหละก็คือเหมือนแบบอย่าไปจดจ่ออยู่กับบางสิ่งบางอย่างอย่างเดียวให้มองกว้างๆ
Yeah. So I don't really have a whole lot of sympathy for parents who like unschool their kids and then years later they want to put their kid back into the system and they're like, oh, now I find out there's all these requirements that I didn't, and they're trying to retroactively, have their kid meet these requirements. But so if you are planning on putting your kid in a particular school at a particular age, you need to talk to that school and say, okay, what are your requirements? If I'm homeschooling my kid, what do I need to show you? You talk to the government as well, and get feedback from them. What requirements are going to be to show that my kid is actually in grade 2 or grade 3.
จริงๆอ่ะบางบ้านที่เขาอันสคูลอะไรพวกเนี้ยแพทเชื่อนะว่าลูกเขาก็ได้ผลแล้วก็เป็นผู้เป็นคนได้ แต่แพทว่าคนเหล่านี้ไม่ใช่คนแบบทั่วๆไปคือพ่อแม่พวกเนี้ยจะมีโอกาสที่จะสอนลูกในทุกๆเวลาไงอาจจะเป็นแบบอย่างเราอ่ะถ้าไม่มีแผนการสอนอะไรเลยแล้วแพทคิดว่าแพทก็สอนลูกในชีวิตประจำวันได้นะแล้วก็ทำให้เขาเก็ตเรื่องอะไรที่ซับซ้อนขึ้นแล้วก็สามารถสอบเข้าโรงเรียนได้แต่มันไม่น่าจะใช่ทุกคนไงที่เห็นว่าเฮ้ยนี่ไงจุดเนี้ยฉันสอนอันนี้ได้อะไรเงี้ยเพราะฉะนั้นแบบเราต้องมองกว้างๆนะเพื่อเตรียมตัวเผื่อวันที่อะไรมันไม่ได้เป็นใจแล้วเราจะต้องเปลี่ยนแผนชีวิตด้วยอะไรเงี้ย
So, one of the things Pat and I want to do, and like the whole COVID thing put a monkey wrench in our plans, but we're trying either this year or next to get started up with our homeschool resource center. We plan on having an actual school, but it'll be more focused on homeschooling with the parents and us working together to, because a lot of people are interested in homeschooling, but they don't know how. So we hope to be that resource for them, help them, register their kid with the government, make sure their kid meets the requirements, have a curriculum, all that stuff, so that when they do eventually put their kid back into school, they have a documentation for that. Now, one of the things I can recommend for you is right now, today, what you can do is you can start keeping a journal of work that your kid's doing. You can, have a 3-ring binder. Put your child's work in it. Significant pieces, not everything. You don't have to save every scrap of paper that they doodle on. But you want to have like a journal. You maybe keep a diary, write out a curriculum or get a curriculum from online and, have that. Because think about it. When your kid transfers from school to school normally, the school will send a transcript along. And the other school is supposed to accept that because the first school is supposedly reputable and cares about and is certified by the government supposedly. So that transcript has some weight. When you come along and you're just like, yeah, I've been homeschooling my kid for 10 years, and here's my kid, and yeah, sure they know division. Yeah, I taught them that. The school doesn't believe you. So what you need to do is you need to have your own documentation so start documenting that now because it's going to matter. Everything you save now is going to matter when you eventually put your kid into school, and you can go to that school and you can say, boom, here's everything my kid's done. Here's their curriculums. Here's their test scores that I took. Here's the independent, like I gave them a TOEFL Junior or something like that. Independent testing so that, you can say that my kid is at this level. My kid is actually a 4th grader. Okay.
ก็ถ้าอนุบาลมันจดทะเบียนหรือไม่จดก็ได้นะโฮมสคูลแต่จดก็ดีก็เหมือนกับเขาก็จะมีใบเวลาลูกเราจบอนุบาลอะไรแบบนี้ให้ด้วยอะไรเงี้ยนะคะแต่ว่าถ้าใครไม่สนไม่แคร์ก็ไปถามโรงเรียนที่เราจะไปป .1 ว่าเขาเอาอะไรบ้างจริงๆโรงเรียนในกรุงเทพเนี่ยก็ไม่ได้รีควายอะไรเลยนะคะอย่างถ้าเป็นพวกโรงเรียนที่ต้องสอบเข้าเขาก็คือแค่คุณสอบเข้าได้คุณก็เข้าได้เลยอะไรเงี้ย
Yeah, so if you're not doing that now, start doing it. Okay, and because if you wait till they're 8 or 9, it's too late. Okay, so you need to have that stuff like you need to be documenting your child's progress now. Okay, so if you haven't been doing it before, start doing it now. Get out a 3-ring binder. Get out, write out a basic curriculum. It doesn't have to be anything fancy. Again, we're going to go back. Keep it simple, okay? But you do need to, know what the requirements from the government and from schools are going to be, and then you plan towards that, okay?
Okay.
All right.
แนะนำหนังสือเรื่อง parenting บ้างสิคะเปลี่ยนหัวข้อบ้างก็จะหนักไป We don't really read books anymore about parenting books.
Yeah, when you're a first parent, you buy a whole bunch of books and then you just put them on a shelf.
แต่ว่าแพนไม่เคยซื้อเลยนะ
You just
แพ
gotta
นไม่
wait.
เคยซื้อหนังสือ parenting อะไรเลยสักอย่างเลยค่ะแต่ว่าตอนท้องเนี่ยซื้อหนังสือตอนท้องแต่แพนไม่เคยซื้อหนังสืออะไรอ่านเลย
Yeah, I got super motivated
อ่าน
about a
แต่
bunch of books.
จากในเว็บไซต์อย่างเดียวนะคะที่เป็นแบบเป็นหมอที่เราแบบว่าหมอก็จะมีหลายจริตด้วยเราก็ดูหมอแบบที่สมมติเราอ่านหมอคนนี้จะเป็นในแนวแบบโคตรโพสิทีฟเลยอย่างเงี้ยเราก็อาจจะต้องมาบาลานซ์ลงนิดนึงนะบางคนแบบว่าเหมือนแบบว่าติดลูกหนึบหนับเลยอันเนี้ยอาจจะไม่ตรงกับชีวิตเราแล้วก็ปรับลงหรือว่าบางคนแบบว่าอีกฝั่งนึงเลยหรืออะไรเงี้ยเราก็ปรับให้มันกลางๆให้มันตรงกับไลฟ์สไตล์เราส่วนใหญ่พัชอ่านในเว็บมากกว่าI usually just read it on website
Yeah, we can, anything you find a baby book you can find online.
เวลาอ่านนะคะก็ดูว่าใครเป็นคนเขียนแล้วก็ตามไปดูด้วยนะว่าคนเขียนคนนี้มันเป็นสไตล์ไหนคือแบบว่าเป็นแบบโอ้ยเน้นอันนี้ที่สุดอะไรอย่างเงี้ยเราก็จะได้บาลานซ์สิ่งที่เขาเขียนได้ค่ะว่ามันจริงไม่จริงแล้วก็อ่านพวกวิจัยเนี่ยจะไม่ได้เป็นเหมือนหมอเขียนจะเป็นเหมือนกับแบบเป็นข้อเท็จจริงเป็นแฟกต์อะไรอย่างเงี้ยแล้วเราก็มาตีความเอาเอง
Yeah, I think you do your research. You buy the baby books because you're gonna buy the baby books anyways. Just buy them. Don't worry. It's every parent wastes money on baby books. It's fine. It's part of the process. We bought all sorts of stuff for Nissa that now I'm totally embarrassed. Like we bought this helmet thing for her to wear so that she wouldn't bump her head. And then Sam's like, he fell down. He bumps his head. I'm like, okay, get back up. That wasn't that bad. It's like totally different attitude about it. Your second child, you're just like, yeah. As long as he's over there eating dust in the corner. He's like, well, he's not gonna die from that. It's okay, whatever. He picks up a big dust ball from underneath the bed and puts it in his mouth. It's like he'll survive. It's okay.
Yeah.
But your first baby, you're like, oh my god, take her to the hospital right now. So yeah, I used to worry about Nissa falling over in the crib, and so we got this helmet thing for her. Now I'm really embarrassed to even admit that. But you waste stuff like that. But it's actually not a bad thing because as a first time parent, you do need to be overly protective to make sure that you're doing it right. And then when you get your third or fourth kid, you don't care. They'll be fine. Plus your other kids are helping.
แล้วลูกคนที่2ที่3เพราะว่ามันน่าจะเลี้ยงง่ายขึ้นนะเพราะเรารู้หมดแล้วไงแล้วพอเราไม่กังวลลูกก็จะไม่กังวลด้วยความรู้สึกเรามันส่งต่อถึงกันเพราะฉะนั้นใครที่มีลูกคนเดียวแล้วมันยากลองมีคนที่2ที่3ดู
But my point is what's actually you can find like you have a question, you go online, you search for it, you find it, and then you need to also talk to other people. So I think having a support group of parents is very helpful. So like one of the things I think that benefited Pat so well is that at our center all the moms sit out in the lobby and Pat talks to them and she gets feedback from them. Now sometimes they say stuff and Pat doesn't agree with it all and she's like I don't know what they're talking about. But that's part of the process. So you get people saying stuff when you look at their kid.
แม่ลูกมันนานมากนะคะประมาณแบบตั้งแต่ปีอะไร2011เพราะฉะนั้นแพทเห็นแม่แบบนี้แล้วก็เห็นลูกที่ออกมาเป็นแบบนี้เห็นแม่แบบนี้เห็นลูกที่ออกมาเป็นแบบนั้นแล้วก็คิดว่าฉันอยากเป็นแม่แบบนี้จังเลยฉันอยากได้ลูกแบบนี้อะไรแบบนี้ค่ะ เพราะฉะนั้นก็คือแบบว่าเราเห็นจากประสบการณ์มาด้วยก็เยอะหรือว่าเราเจอเด็กที่เขามีพฤติกรรมนั้นนู่นนี้แล้วเราก็อยากรู้ว่าเราจะแก้ยังไงเราก็ไปเซิร์ชในอินเทอร์เน็ตคือแพทเซิร์ชมานานแล้วว่าแบบว่านักเรียนฉันมีพฤติกรรมแบบนี้ฉันจะทำยังไงดีทำไมนักเรียนคนนี้เป็นแบบนั้นเราจะทำยังไงดี
Yeah, so I think it's super helpful to have other people with kids that you can bounce your ideas off of, and just talk to and say, is this crazy or am I doing it right? So and then even if you don't agree with them, you still have somebody you can talk to and compare with.
Okay.
All right.
แค่นี้แหละ
Unfollow, what's that?
She said she only watch our live. Other channel she should unfollow.
Okay, good.
ปากหวานมาก
Yeah. Put one, right? Yeah. Okay, so so one of the things like our plans in the future is to we're shooting for having our own homeschool resource center. I have a vision in my head of having something like similar to how they have the shared workspace except for homeschoolers. That's our general idea. we have no money for that right now. we're not doing that this
มันต้องลงทุน
year.
เยอะอะแล้วถ้าเราต้อง
Yeah.
อยู่ที่แต่แถวเนี้ยคือ
Yeah.
ไม่รู้ว่าถ้าซื้อที่แถวนี้เมื่อไหร่จะมีปัญญาซื้อหรือว่าซื้อไปแล้ว
Yeah.
เมื่อไหร่จะมีปัญญาคืนเงินเขาอะมันแบบมันแพงมาก
I will be happy getting through this year with a roof over our heads. Okay.
ตอนเนี้ยพยายามอยู่ให้รอดก่อนนะคะโควิดค่ะทำโรงเรียนดิฉันปิดไปหลายเดือน
It
นะคะ
set us back a little bit, but the idea, though, in general, is to, you know, because you can find all this stuff online, it's really difficult to sort out what's good and what's not. So what we want to do is be a resource for people. They can come in and they can sound off their ideas and say, like, what do you think of this? And also just so that, you know, when people come in and they say they want to do a lesson on magnetism, they can come get the kit from us. They can sit down and they can have one of our staff go through the lesson with them and share some teaching techniques and maybe observe the way that they interact with the child and give advice. So that's what we're trying to do. But yeah, it's going to maybe be delayed a few months to get started, and then maybe we'll look at it seriously for next year. We're trying to get it up and running this year, but it might be a very limited form. But anyways, that's where we're at right now with us. That's what we're trying to do. So yeah, if anybody out there has like 10 million baht, 20 million baht, call me. Yeah, and it's just that's the thing is that, you know, like right now with where the world is at right now, I think a lot of people are looking at new ways of doing things.
ใช่
because
เอาแต่เราก็
you're always
มี
not
เว
working.
เยอะนะเหมือนแบบเมื่อก่อนไม่เคยคิดถึงออนไลน์คลาสเลยนะคะแต่ว่าตอนนี้ลองทำดูเฮ้ยมันสอนได้อยู่นะอะไรอย่างเงี้ยแล้วก็รู้สึกว่าเราแบบได้สอนเด็กจากจังหวัดอื่นๆหรือประเทศอื่นก็มีอย่างเงี้ยรู้สึกว่ามัน Amazing มากเลยแล้วก็คิดว่าถึงเปิดได้แล้วอะเราก็จะคีปออนไลน์คลาสต่อไปอะไรอย่างเงี้ยค่ะ
Yeah, so you know, like I think like one of the benefits maybe of having the kids home for a couple of months is that all the parents are going to realize, wow, the teachers really have to do a lot and that's just with one kid. Remember, you have one kid at home and you're already having problems. Imagine 20, 30, 40, 50 kids.
แล้วอย่างเงี้ยก็เลยยังคิดว่าเวลาที่ลูกเรามีปัญหาอย่าคิดแต่ว่าส่งไปให้โรงเรียนแก้มันแก้ไม่ได้หรอกเพราะว่าโรงเรียนเขามีลูกตั้งเยอะถ้าลูกเรามีปัญหาอยู่กับเราเนี่ยแหละแล้วมันจะแก้ได้
I'm hoping that this leads to reforms where people go, hey, maybe we shouldn't put 60 kids in a classroom. You know, I mean, I had a hard time with one. I can't imagine doing 60.
ใช่
So, you know, we'll see. But that's, you know, I mean, it's got to start somewhere. And maybe this is going to be the thing that kicks it off. But I think that people should start a dialogue about their child's education and include your children in that dialogue. I mean, you don't have to actually do what they say because kids are going to be like, I want candy all day. You don't have to do that. But, you know, your child should take ownership of their own education. They should be a full participant in that. They shouldn't be passive where they're just waiting for you to give them answers and everything like that. They should be active, going out there, learning, hunting for new information. And they should be evaluating the task and then saying, well, how did I do on this? Did I learn what, you know, you could, like, when I have kids do book reports after they read a book, I'll ask them, did you enjoy the book? You know, what would you done differently with this character? Okay, so they're analyzing like how did the author write the book and whether or not it was a well-written book. You know, because they should be thinking about stuff like that.
ใช่ก็น่าจะเท่านี้ล่ะเลยเวลาอีกแล้วนะเลยมาชั่วโมงครึ่งแล้ว It's hour and a half
Oh, Gina, really? Okay, we filled up the time pretty well. I thought we were.
ใช่ก็ตอนแรกจะเสร็จตั้งแต่45 นาทีแรกแล้ว
I'll talk for hours. You know, Pat knows that. I mean, I feel sorry for her. You know, she's got to listen to me talk all.
ใช่เวลาอยู่กับจอร์จบางทีก็นึกถึงเวลาอยู่กับแม่อยู่กับพ่ออย่างเงี้ยค่ะที่เวลาเขาไปเจอเพื่อนแล้วเขาจะคุยนานแล้วเราก็ต้องยืนรอ
Here, I'll give everybody a.
หน้าทำตาเพื่อจะโดนด่า
This is you know behind the scenes. Okay, this is what life is like in our house. Okay, it's me like blah 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 politics blah 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 blah, and then Pat's over here going.
เฮ้ยใช่เลยอ่ะใช่เลยเนี่ย
I can you know copy her exactly.
ใช่ใช่
Then
โอ
she
เค
just
ทุก
kind
ค
of
น
fades
ไปนอน
off.
กันดีกว่า let's bye bye ดีกว่า
Okay.
แล้วก็คราวหน้าเจอกันอีกทีวันไหนอังคารเหรอ Tuesday Today is Saturday
Tuesday. Somebody please like send us messages beforehand and let us remind us because I really don't know what day it is. I honestly don't.
ใช่ไม่ต้องแค่บอกว่าอยากฟัง
She
เรื่องอะไร
might.
ก็ได้
I don't know. You know, I just wake up in the morning. Pat tells me what to do, and I go through the day. I don't really know what day it is.
ใช่
It's all a blur. You can see I'm getting really scruffy here. You know, I think maybe I should just grow
ก็
it
รู้สึก
all
ว่า
out.
ฟันตัวเองตรงนี้เหยินค่ะ หลังจากที่ไลฟ์แล้วเห็นฟันตัวเอง รู้สึกว่าเฮ้ยไม่ได้ใส่รีเทนเนอร์นานฟันเหยินเนี่ยกลับไปใส่รีเทนเนอร์ปวดฟันทุกคืนเลย
Yeah, it's adorable when she talks with it too. So.
มันเกือบจะใส่ไม่ได้คือไม่ได้ใส่เป็นปีแล้วอะ
Oh, you're welcome. Thank you. Yeah, I mean, we're here to help. So, I used to, you know, back in the States, I used to work as a web designer, and I would just sit in a closet all day long, never talk to anybody. And yeah, I'd make some cool websites and stuff like that, but I'd be, you know, in there plugging Cat5 cables into the server and just messing around. But I never talked to anybody, and it was financially very, very good, but I didn't feel fulfilled. And so one of the things I enjoyed when I came over here and I started working as a teacher, I rediscovered that love of teaching. And my mom ran daycares when I was a kid, and so I grew up in this industry. Basically, my mom was doing it. I you know, would listen to her talk about these different issues. And then when I came over here, I got involved in a Reggio school right away, and you know, I rediscovered that love of just helping a kid learn something new, and it's a real joy. So I hope that, you know, this homeschooling experience, that you don't forget that joy, okay? That it's not all about like, oh my God, you know, my kid's running around, I don't know how to control my kid and everything like that. Try to find the joy of like that moment when your kid gets something and they go, ah, and you're like, oh, yeah, and he's like, it's such a fulfilling thing. So try to remember that too when you're teaching your kid. Look for that joy. I'm starting to sound like a hippie again, but yeah, you know, it's there, it's waiting for you, and all you have to do is discover it.
โอเค
Okay.
บ๊ายบาย
Bye bye. See you.
ขอบคุณทุกคนที่ฟังค่ะ